It's we've had a bit of another cold snap, and the ice is starting to form on the canal. So I was up there. It's going to be a sunny day today. I was up there putting my solar panels up and just having a listen and a wander, and some bloke walked past. Shout out to Alan with his lovely little dog. And we were having a chat. We were discussing life and, you know, how he's got a diesel heater and he's keeping the boat warm. I said, yeah. Now I've bossed the fire, and it is now. Yes, 95% bossed on different conditions and all that sort of stuff. But it's lovely being out there talking to people. So I had a great chat with Alan this morning. Yesterday, great chat with Colin. I met Colin down at Bugbrook as well, and his wife stopped me and said, "Oh, are you doing this? And are you going to the Ordnance, the Royal Ordnance Museum, Gaff?" Yeah, and the answer is yes. So I'm going to do a bit of a video on that. Not sure when it's going to happen or how I'm going to edit it yet. But Weedon, lovely place to go. Close to Water Point. I am here. There's a little bit of a trip to Tesco in Weedon Village. If you're on Shanks's Pony is your feet, by the way. And there's in Weedon Village, there's a one-stop shop, which I haven't been in yet. I must have a go at that. And there's the Narrowboat pub down the road. I haven't been in there either. But it's nice, you know. I have met some lovely people here. Just walking on the towpath. Fella in front of me. I learnt how to use my chainsaw because I was sawing my wood, and he says, "Oh, do you want me to use a chainsaw now or something?" I said, "Oh, would you mind?" He goes, "Yeah, that's fine." So he cut me a back of wood up, which is nice, and I watched him on the chainsaw, and then I done it. Great. I have learned how to use a chainsaw properly. Thank you very much, fellow in front. Didn't ask your name. Big wide beam. And there's a big wide beam behind me as well, so when the wind blows, shelters my boat a bit. I quite like wide beams for that. Anyway, there's enough chat for now. I just thought I'd tell you that living on the towpath is great, but it's also, the downside of that is, particularly in the cold, if you don't get out of the boat, you don't meet anybody. And it's quite easy, I think, to have that feeling of loneliness and anxiety then of moving on and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to do a little bit of a vlog on that. Probably be a sandbag Sunday on feelings and emotions of the differences between narrowboaters, continuous cruisers, narrowboaters, you know, I imagine on, you know, permanent moorings versus marina life. I'm only a continuous cruiser, so I'm just going to imagine myself in those different positions and what the pros and cons will be like. And if you are one of those permanent moorers or marina fellas, ladies, let me know if if my thought process is there or thereabouts, or completely wrong, and add value and comment and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, scratch the back. Goodbye to Bugbrook. It's been nice seeing you. It's been a nice place. Bugbrook's a lovely place, and if you get a mooring next to the wharf inn, it's a bit of a gift, because Bugbrook's about 3/4 of a mile away. Little local shop there. There's a hairdresser's for those that need it. There's a pet shop, a couple of pubs, and generally speaking, nice gaff.
And I'm travelling with Lloyd, and we're on our way to Nether Heyford, only a couple of miles down the road, couple of mile, and well, there we go. That's it really. I haven't got much else to say. Wind's blowing quite a bit. Windy day. A lover's type of statue. Bit of a sun deck there for the people living there, and they've it's a nice house actually, nice. And there's been proper blown into the side.
Hiding in the dark, I bring illumination.
That caught me off guard. Nice little marina coming up here. Early morning chores. I do the toilet every time I move, so I've had to empty the bucket, clean it all out, do the fire, give that a bit of a clean the window, and all that sort of boaty type stuff that I do on a pre-move. So when I moor up, I've got very little to do, and just, well, very little to do. This looks like a nice marina, don't know where it is. I could look at my phone, can't be bothered. There, 4 boats going through it in a short period of time. Bit of a nightmare. However, everybody kept their cool, everybody did the little bit of the right thing, which was nice. Bit of a turning, bit of a winding hole there, look. It's a small Noah's Ark. Very small. Lloyd's taking the lead. I don't know where we're going, I don't know where we're mooring. He said, oh no, I'm mooring place, he said. Okay. Let's now there, look at that. A do-it-yourself thatching course. Quite nice. Like it. Like it. Mecca from Nether Heyford. There's a big searchlight on the front of that boat, look. Big searchlight. I get permanent moorings. I get it. I'm going to do a thing on the benefits of continuous cruising versus permanent moorings versus being in a marina. I'm beginning to understand why people do it. Honestly, although, you know, I'm enjoying my continuous cruising, but absolute benefits.
Coming as a friend, coming as a traitor, opens or a drama generator. I am. Destiny can never win a game I throw. Closing the door doesn't break my flow. Heavy goes away when I aim my bow. Nothing to fear, let the arrow go. A soldier of love I am.
I'm at Commonwealth War Grave at Nether Heyford. I thought, I saw it on the way down to the shop, I thought I'd have a quick pop in and have a look. I can spot the war graves. They've got distinctive marked stones, same colour. Anyway, let's have a look at them. Gunner Filler, Royal Artillery, 13th November 1947, age 19. Little message from his mum underneath. He was lovely in his life, in death we are not divided. Treasured memories, Mother. And there's another one over here. I think there's only two that I can spot. Private Hickson, Royal Army Medical Corps, 8th of August 1943. A little story. I've always got a story to tell, I suppose. Ooh. We're in a little bit of a dip. ICSC Air, Intermediate Command and Staff course. It was a course for squadron leaders. I was a warrant officer and was allowed to attend. It was one of those things where, you know, one of the first type of warrant officers that was invited to attend that course to see if we could mix and match with the officer corps. And do you know what? It was a great course. 8 weeks of academic thinking and a bit of academic writing, and I really enjoyed it. And on that course we spent a week away, France and Belgium, and one of the things I noticed there was, having visited a lot of war graves previous and on that course, war graves are all the same colour, all the same style, and you know, they're dotted across France and Belgium. But what hit me most was visiting a German war grave. There was not a lot of light in there. It had a stone wall all the way around it, and there was shadowy. It was because of, I think, the different coloured graves, i.e. Commonwealth War Graves are in that sandy, stony type colour. The German war graves were all in a black cross, and this one particular war grave, I can't remember where it was. I think it was in Belgium somewhere. As far as the eye could see, there were black crosses, and I walked up to a black cross, and it was stark actually. I walked up to the black cross, and there was the stanchion, and then there was a bit going that way, and the cross bit. And on one side of the cross was a name, and on the other side of the cross was a name. Then what hit home to me, was when you walked on the other side of the cross, there was another 2 names. So per cross, 4 people buried, as far as the eye could see. And we've got 1 stone, 1 body. I have no hard feelings about the Germans at all. You know, bygones be bygones and that sort of stuff, and I've known quite a few German soldiers, and you know what, the top people, absolute top people. I do like the German people, and I think they're great. But it was, and I know the Germans look after that war grave. There's a lot of people fallen on both sides. It was a stark reminder for me personally, how many people died just in, or how many people were buried just in that one graveyard. And anyway, I like to visit where I can, Commonwealth War Graves, and there's one just up at Weedon that I'm going to have a visit. But this is Nether Heyford. 2 graves, 2 people died on active service. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for your service. Thanks for what you give.
A soldier of love I am. A soldier of love, love, love. A soldier of love.
It's an early morning, beautiful sunset. The wind whistles down. You can probably hear it on the mic. Surprisingly, some pylons. I want to take a photo of them at some stage or other, and maybe I missed my opportunity earlier on. Should have come out here a little bit earlier with the camera. Might get a long lens, and get that lone tree in line with the pylon. That'd be quite nice, I think. Anyway, I'm up at Nether Heyford. Nether Heyford is a small little hamlet village, which I'll take you through at some stage or other very soon. The power of edit. Again, there's lots of these hair cutting type places. Don't understand it.
And when I wake, I hesitate, 'cause those feelings are waiting for me. Those feelings I try to describe. They make me so blue and angry too. Those feelings are ruining my life.
Some places use those as bookstores. This is just an empty box. So there's the Hayford bakery, Hayford meats, a one-stop shop and a couple of pubs. And I think that's about it in real terms.
Are waiting for me. Those feelings I try to describe. They make me so blue and angry too. Those feelings are ruining my life.
Methodist church that's now looks like two houses. 2A, yeah, must be 2A and 2B. Nice though, nice. These little pokey type of streets that are in these small hamlets, you get some very nice old buildings. There's contrast between that Methodist church. That house there looks quite nice, but I love this outbuilding. All these sets of outbuildings actually quite nice. A quaint cottage, a thatched roof, a weeping willow with no weeping, and a lovely cottage.
Those feelings I try to describe. They make me so blue and angry too. Those feelings are ruining my life.
Probably the old lord of the manor's house, with where it's situated near the church, which was a centre of gravity back in the day.
Feelings I've tried to describe. They make me so blue and angry too. Those feelings are ruining my life. Those feelings I've tried to describe. They make me so blue and angry too. Those feelings are ruining my life. Those feelings are ruining my life. Those feelings are ruining my life.
No doubt the local house tells its children or grandchildren that's where the little pixies live. Oh, and here's another thing, look. Novel idea, particularly if you've got kids. Quite nice. It's a bit windy. I'm beginning to understand a pram hood is probably a good idea, and I'm going to try and source one this year. I don't think there's a probably about it. It's going to happen.
That boat towards the end, it's kind of like had had another part of a boat clipped on the front of it. Did you notice that? I only noticed that on the edit. Didn't notice it when I walked past. Anyway, it looked quite good. So that was Nether Heyford. Worth a stop. Well, the one-stop shop is very well stocked, I have to say. And the pub, the Forester, I spoke to the landlord in there, and there was some pictures in there. There was a picture of Nelson. Next to Nelson was Winston Churchill. After him, there was Harold Wilson. Then a guy called Bevan. Now, Aneurin Bevan, never heard of him before, but he was the founder of the NHS. Didn't know that. After that was Brian Clough. After Cloughie was Bob Dylan. After Bob was Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali, whichever version of him you remember. So I was talking to the landlord, and we didn't want to discuss too much about politics because we both agreed on Cloughie being a top bloke, being a top football manager as he was in the day. Anyway, that was the Forester's Arms, and that's the end of the vlog. So, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. No, I've got that bit wrong. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, give it a go, because I like to do these chats, and it does help me out if you do subscribe instead of unsubscribing. And until next week, go to Weedon. Weedon's an interesting place. There's a Royal Ordnance thing at Weedon. So for now, ciao, Papa.